So hello everyone, today I'm going to review my Dino-Riders Styracosaurus. Yeah, here it is. Made by Tyco. So this guy's a 80s toy. Though I didn't get him in the 80s, I got him a lot more recently than that, but here he is. Here he is, all decked out with his armor, with his rider turret. So let's give a little close-up of this figure. This is the front view of this figure, nice close-up over there of the Styracosaurus. There you get to see all of his horns. He's got them all laid out here. 6 horns on his the shield part of his head. He's got this little kind of like these ridges or these horns above his brow, and of course his nose horn, and there's his beaked face. He's got a beak. So this guy comes in sort of a brownish tan color with lots of hues of brown, kind of like sandy brown, dark brown. It's nicely colored. So that's the front view of a Styracosaurus. Side view, turret there sitting on the right hand side. This is the other side over here with his gun. Bottom view, where you can see up close. There, got that marking over there. 1987. Let's flip him this way. Oh, I'm gonna get turret. 1957, made in Hong Kong, Tyco Toys. And the top view. So there he is. So this guy comes with turret, and turret comes with, you know, the standard issue Dino-Riders accessories, except I think I only have his blaster. It's very similar. If you've seen my Deinonychus review, it's very similar to that, what he comes with. So this is turret right over here. So this guy is from the Dino-Riders series. If I'm not mistaken, he's voiced by Charlie Adler. So this guy is like the smart guy. He's like the Donatello of the group, you know, the smart character. And he looks pretty show accurate. I mean, his jumpsuit looks pretty close to it. What he doesn't have is his visor, because he kind of has a visor here. I mean, he has the headpiece, but it doesn't have the visor in front. But yeah, maybe I could customize that someday. But there he is, close up of his face. He's got this red design, which he also has in the cartoon, and these things in his arm. I don't know, pockets or something? Well, they are for something. Kind of looks like a flak jacket, but there he is. He's nicely colored in his light blue. So all he lacks is his visor. So articulation, he can turn his head, turn his arm all around. His leg goes all the way up front like that, bend at the knee, all the way back like that. So perfect for sitting. So as mentioned, this is turret. He's the smart guy of the group, if you remember the show. So here he is. This is the armor piece. So here's a harness. It's got these guns. So they can turn around. They're a little bit tight in mine, but they can turn around. And here's the seat. So you could actually it could be taken apart and put back in. So that's how you assemble it. Pretty simple. So this guy's got a little harness. It's got these sort of these pegs. This one is severed, but it's got these pegs over here, and they go to the dinosaur's slot over here. As you can see right through them. That's how it latches on. Now, pretty nice. Still in pretty good quality. Hasn't really oxidized much. It's got these little gun tips. I like to point mine like this. I mean, sometimes it's reversed, but I like the wider part up front. So I think that's how it looks in the box. So yeah, that is his harness. So let's go to the dinosaur. This is a close-up of the dinosaur over here. He's got nice beady little eyes. He's got these nice sort of like a glass eye. And he also has a gimmick. Move his tail this way, it moves his head the opposite way. So it has a nice look to it. You could say, you want to have a party later? No. Yeah, so it's a nice little gimmick like that. Nice little head movement. And you could kind of make his tail like it's wagging. You could be like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah, so that's a nice gimmick over there. So it works very well. And I think you can see through the shadow, there's kind of like a counter lever inside. Yeah, so that's how it works. And it's a nice gimmick all around. You could move it really fast. It looks like he's really wagging his tail. So that's nice. This is the Styracosaurus up close. So, my only gripe here that I think in real life the Styracosaurus should be bigger. If I'm still familiar with my dinosaur knowledge, this guy's supposed to be like 20 feet. But if this guy is a 6-footer, he doesn't really come close to 20 feet. Yeah. So he's a little bit low on the ground too. I remember the show, he's kind of big. He's not that much smaller than the Triceratops, but in this case, he's like a baby compared to the Triceratops. But I guess that's just a minor gripe. But other than that, it's pretty good. It's got nice texturing over here. Look at that. Nice scales. He's got 4 toes in the back, 5 up front. He's got a light underbelly. And nice little molding all around. Nice molding. He's got lots of detail all over him. This part's the only smooth part, but everywhere else it's got this scale texture. So very good. So now I'm gonna put him back with the armor. There, just snap it over there. He just sits over there on this side, and there he is. Now in the box art, you could also stand him up. You could turn this around and make him, let turret hold the turret, and it kind of looks like what he's doing in the box art, where he's like firing at something sideways. I mean, there's some artworks I've seen him firing like this, so you could do that. So pretty versatile toy, Dino-Rider. So I've always liked this Dino-Rider ever since before. I like the character because, he's sort of the smart one that doesn't really, he's sort of the smart one. Not really the hotshot of the group, but he's dependable, so I kind of like the character. And a lot of times in the series, except for that time he was with the Edmontonian with Youngstar, I think most of the time he's with the Styracosaurus. Oh yeah, and there was a time he was in the Brontosaurus too, but most of the time this is his partner. So, and they look good together, as you can see. Although the dinosaur looks a little smallish in comparison to the cartoon. And I think in real life this thing is a little bit bigger. But other than that, it's still a great set, a great toy from the 80s. I believe he's series 1 of the Valorians. And, yeah, so that's what I have to say for this Styracosaurus. Now, if you guys watch the Dino-Rider series like I do, I mean, you could check it out. They show it on YouTube, among others. It's a great series. I remember the very first episode where Questar, this is this guy, their leader, wasn't riding the Diplodocus first, because this guy usually comes with a Diplodocus, but in the show, he rides a host of different dinosaurs. Sometimes he's on the Deinonychus. And there was a time in the first episode he was with the Monoclonius. So this is the Monoclonius, which is a retool of this guy. So, resembles him very closely. Just some minor differences. But I remember in the show that Questar was actually riding one like this. And the cool thing about this Rulon Monoclonius, the armor of the Styracosaurus fits on him the same. So you could have that scene in the first episode where Questar was actually riding this. So this looks pretty awesome. Because I remember in the first episode, Questar had a Monoclonius, a green one at that. A different shade of green. It's not blue-green like this, but a green one nonetheless. And he was piloting this while taking on Krulos and while commanding his troops. So in the pilot episode, he had this guy. So this is kind of like a kit bash or a custom, but something that you could make if you have the Styracosaurus armor and the Monoclonius, Rulon Monoclonius, and Questar. So it looks pretty awesome. So this is kind of like a dream come true for me, because they don't really sell something like this, but you could kit bash it to look like this. So there he is. So overall, I think this is a fun little Dino-Rider set, and it's a good. I mean, probably you could get one with all of its parts still on eBay, or you could get them piece by piece, his armor, the dinosaur, and the rider. But it's a good substantial set. It's a good representation of a valorian. I mean, you could even put another rider in this, because I remember in the show, this is like a standard valorian fighter armament. They had a lot of Styracosaurus, so they had this. And overall, it's still good quality. For me, it still holds its own. I mean, the new toys now are more detailed, of course, but this thing still looks nice to display and nice to play with. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed the review of my Dino-Riders Styracosaurus with turret. Thanks.